Sappy BeDappy. You know who that is? No. I am Amelia Bedelia's best friend. Did you know that? No. Do you know who Amelia Bedelia is?
No.
You do? No. Amelia Bedelia is my friend, and I wanted to come in here and tell you a little bit about my friend. Is it okay if I come and read to you today about my friend?
Uh-huh.
Okay. All right. Oh my goodness. I had to walk all the way up to this school today. And I'm just so happy to be here with y'all this morning. Okay, I'm going to set my purse down right here. Is that okay?
Uh-huh.
Okay. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. Well, like I said, I'm Miss Sappy BeDappy, okay? I'm Amelia Bedelia's best friend. And I want to read to you a little bit about her, okay? And this book, the author of this book is Peggy Parrish, and the pictures or the illustrator is Fritz Seibel. Okay? You ready to get started?
Yes.
Okay. Amelia Bedelia. Oh, Amelia Bedelia, your first day of work and I can't be here. But I made a list for you. You do just what the list says, said Mrs. Rogers. Mrs. Rogers got into the car with Mr. Rogers and they drove away. That's my best friend, Amelia Bedelia. My, what nice folks. I'm going to like working here, said Amelia Bedelia. Amelia Bedelia went inside. Such a grand house. These must be rich folks. But I must get to work. Here I stand just looking, and me with a whole list of things to do. Amelia Bedelia stood there a minute longer. I think I'll make a surprise for them. I'll make a lemon meringue pie. I do make good pies. Yes, my best friend Amelia Bedelia, she makes good pies. So Amelia Bedelia went into the kitchen. She put a little of this and a pinch of that into a bowl. She mixed and she rolled. Soon her pie was ready to go into the oven. There, said Amelia Bedelia. That's done. Now let's see what this list says. Amelia Bedelia read, change the towels in the green bathroom. Amelia Bedelia found the green bathroom. Those towels are very nice. Why change them, she thought. Where do you see what my best friend did? Then Amelia Bedelia remembered what Mrs. Rogers had said. She must do just what the list told her. Well, all right, said Amelia Bedelia. Amelia Bedelia got some scissors. She snipped a little here and a little there, and she changed those towels. There, said Amelia Bedelia. She looked at her list again. Dust the furniture. Did you ever hear tell of such a silly thing? At my house, we undust the furniture, but to each his own way. Amelia Bedelia took one last look at the bathroom. She saw a big box with the words dusting powder on it. Uh-oh. Well, look at that. A special powder to dust with, exclaimed Amelia Bedelia. So Amelia Bedelia dusted the furniture. That should be dusty enough. My, how nice it smells. Draw the drapes when the sun comes out, read Amelia Bedelia. She looked up. The sun was coming in. Amelia Bedelia looked at the list again. Draw the drapes? That's what it says. I'm not much of a hand at drawing, but I'll try. So Amelia Bedelia sat right down and she drew those drapes. Did Amelia Bedelia really understand what to do? Amelia Bedelia marked off about the drapes. Now what? Put the lights out when you finish in the living room. Amelia Bedelia thought about this a minute. She switched off the lights. Then she carefully unscrewed each bulb. And Amelia Bedelia put the lights out. So those things need to be aired out too. Just like pillows and babies. Oh, I do have a lot to learn. Was she supposed to do that?
No.
No. My pie, exclaimed Amelia Bedelia. She hurried to the kitchen. Just right, she said. She took the pie out of the oven and put it on the table to cool. Then she looked at the list. Measure 2 cups of rice. That's next, said Amelia Bedelia. Amelia Bedelia found 2 cups. She filled them with rice. And Amelia Bedelia measured that rice. Did she do the right thing?
No.
Wait till you hear what happens next. Amelia Bedelia laughed. These folks do want me to do funny things. Then she poured the rice back into the container. The meat market will deliver a steak and a chicken. Please trim the fat before you put the steak in the ice box. And please dress the chicken. When the meat arrived, Amelia Bedelia opened the bag. She looked at the steak for a long time. Yes, she said, that will do nicely. See what my BFF did this time. Amelia Bedelia got some lace and bits of ribbon, and Amelia Bedelia trimmed that fat before she put the steak in the ice box. Now I must dress the chicken. I wonder if she wants a he chicken or a she chicken, said Amelia Bedelia. Amelia Bedelia went right to work. Soon the chicken was finished.
Make me pay for it. Yeah. That's nice.
Amelia Bedelia heard the door open. The folks are back, she said. She rushed out to meet them. They look like some fancy people, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
Amelia Bedelia, why are all the light bulbs outside? Asked Mr. Rogers. The list just said to put the lights out, said Amelia Bedelia. It didn't say to bring them back in. Oh, I do hope they didn't get aired too long. Now, what was Amelia Bedelia really supposed to do, Zayden? When they said put the lights out, help them out.
Turn the lights off.
Turn the lights off.
There you go.
Amelia Bedelia, the sun will fade the furniture. I asked you to draw the drapes, said Mrs. Rogers. I did. See, said Amelia Bedelia. She held up her picture.
No, she wasn't supposed to do that.
Raise your hand if you could tell me what was my BFF supposed to do this time? What was she supposed to do with the drapes? Close them, like draw them to close them, but she drew them out on paper. Then Mrs. Rogers saw the furniture. The furniture, she cried. Did I dust it well enough? Asked Amelia Bedelia. That's such nice dusting powder. Did she do the right thing?
No. That's.
So what, raise your hand if you can tell me, what was she supposed to do? Isabel.
She was supposed to dust it with the duster.
You're right, to get the dust off the furniture. Mr. Rogers went to wash his hands. I say, he called, these are very unusual towels. Mrs. Rogers dashed into the bathroom. Oh, my best towels, she said. Didn't I change them enough? Asked Amelia Bedelia. What was she supposed to do to the towels? Zayden? Change them to a different towel. But she changed it. She cut them. Mrs. Rogers went to the kitchen. I'll cook the dinner. Where is the rice I asked you to measure? I'll put it back in the container. But I remember, it measured 4.5 inches, said Amelia Bedelia. What was supposed to happen with the rice? What was supposed to happen with the rice? Who can tell me that? Okay.
She was supposed to leave it out for dinner.
She was supposed to leave it out for dinner. Was the meat delivered? Asked Mrs. Rogers. Yes, said Amelia Bedelia. I trimmed the fat just like you said. It does look nice. Mrs. Rogers rushed to the icebox. She opened it. Lace? Ribbons? Oh dear, said Mrs. Rogers. So what was she supposed to do with the steak? What was she supposed to do with the steak? Think about it. Okay, she was supposed to trim all the fat part off of it so that they could cook it. The chicken. You dressed the chicken, asked Miss Rogers. Yes, and I found the nicest box to put him in, said Amelia Bedelia. Box, exclaimed Mrs. Rogers. Mrs. Rogers hurried over to the box. She lifted the lid. There lay the chicken, and he was just as dressed as he could be. What was she supposed to do to the chicken? What was she supposed to do to the chicken?
She's supposed to put something in it.
Yes, that's right. She was supposed to get them all prepared for them to cook. Mrs. Rogers was angry. She was very angry. She opened her mouth. Mrs. Rogers meant to tell Amelia Bedelia she was fired. But before she could get the words out, Mr. Rogers put something in her mouth. What do you think it was? Lucas?
The lemon cake.
The lemon pie. Let's see if that was it. It was so good, Mrs. Rogers forgot about being angry. Lemon meringue pie, she exclaimed. I made it to surprise you, said Amelia Bedelia happily. So right then and there, Mr. and Mrs. Rogers decided that Amelia Bedelia must stay. And so she did. Mrs. Rogers learned to say, undust the furniture, unlight the lights, close the drapes, and things like that. Mr. Rogers didn't care if Amelia Bedelia trimmed all of his steaks with lace. All he cared about was having her there to make lemon meringue pie. The end.